Hi there. In this chapter, we're going to look at all the different ways that we can represent data. So in the previous chapter, we were looking at the kind of summary statistics that we could come up with. So measures of location and spread, that sort of thing. Now we're going to look at the ways that we can represent that data. How can we make that data useful to someone who's reviewing what we've done? We're going to begin by looking at outliers. So it's a term I used earlier on in the course a couple of times. An outlier, intuitively, is just a data point which sits a long way away from the mean or the median. It's an unusual, unexpected result. There are a few different ways we can define an outlier. I'm going to show you the most common one now. So back to our example of Raheem Sterling and his points in fantasy football this year. You'll recall that we calculated the quartiles, which were 1, 3 and 7, and a standard definition for an outlier is the following. So an outlier is any data point which is more than 1.5 interquartile ranges away from the upper and lower quartiles. Bit of a mouthful, here's what we mean. If we took the upper quartile and we added 1.5 lots of the interquartile range, that gives us our upper bound, and anything that's bigger than that will be an outlier. So let's actually work out what that is. So for us, the upper quartile is 7, and then 1.5 times, and then the interquartile range is 7 minus 1, so that's 6. So that's 7 plus 1.5 times 6 is 9. Okay, so it's 16. So any value bigger than 16, not equal to 16, but bigger than 16 is an outlier. So for Raheem Sterling, there was only one outlier at the top end this season so far. So that score of 20 is considered a long way away, which is kind of obvious. It is. It's way bigger than everything else. Okay, at the bottom end, it's the lower quartile minus 1.5 interquartile ranges. So in our case, it's the lower quartile, which is 1, minus 1.5 lots of the interquartile range, which is 1, minus 9, or minus 8. So anything less than minus 8 is an outlier. Now, he never got anything less than negative 8. You can't get negative scores. Actually, you can, but he didn't get any. So that means there are no outliers at the bottom end for Raheem Sterling. All right, now it's usually 1.5, which you're asked to use, but in the exams, you'll always be told what it is. So they might sometimes say an outlier is any value which is Q3 plus 2 lots of the interquartile range, or plus 1 lot of the interquartile range, or that kind of thing. So it's not always 1.5, but that's by far the most common definition of what an outlier is. So, just to summarize, you want to use the rules given in the question to come up with some upper bounds and lower bounds. Any data point bigger than the upper bound is an outlier, any data point lower than the lower bound is an outlier, but sometimes there are no outliers on one of the ends. Let's have a look at another example. So, in a study of how students use their mobile telephones, the phone usage of a random sample of 11 students was examined for a particular week. The total length of calls, Y minutes, for the 11 students were, and here they are. Find the median and quartiles for the data. Okay, so just as a reminder of how we do that, if you've got 11 students and you want to find the median, you're going to do 11 plus 1 divided by 2, which is 6. So the median is our 6th data point. It's already ordered, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here is our median. Now for our quartiles, we don't do the plus 1, we just do 11 over 4 for the lower quartile. So 11 divided by 4 is 2.75. So since that's not a whole number, we round up to the nearest whole number, which is 3. So the lower quartile is a third term. So 1, 2, 3. Here is our lower quartile. And for the upper quartile, we do 3/4 of 11. So 3/4 of 11 is 8.25. So since that's not a whole number, we round up to the nearest whole number, so we're looking for the 9th term. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's the upper quartile. So my answers to that are that Q2, the median, is 53. The lower quartile, Q1, is 35. And the upper quartile, Q3, is 60. Right, now they've given us their rule, a value that is greater than Q3 plus 1.5 lots of the interquartile range, or smaller than Q1 minus 1.5 lots of the interquartile range, is defined as an outlier. Show that 110 is the only outlier. Okay, so we're looking for the upper bound and the lower bound here. So the upper bound is Q3, which for us is 60, plus 1.5 lots of the interquartile range, which is 60 minus 35. So that's 60 plus 1.5 lots of 25. So that's 60 plus, and I should be able to do this in my head, 37.5, which is 97.5. So anything bigger than 97.5 is an outlier, and the only term bigger than 97.5 is 110. We've got to check out the lower end though as well. So at the lower end, we take the lower quartile minus 1.5 lots of the interquartile range. So that's 35 minus 37.5, which is minus 2.5. And there is nothing less than that, because negative 2.5 is down here, so no outliers at the lower end. And now we can see that 110 is the only outlier. So therefore, 110 is the only outlier. Okay, one more example, a little bit more challenging. So students were asked to draw a 70-degree angle without a protractor. The results are summarized in the following table. For these data, the upper quartile is 75, the minimum is 55, and the maximum is 84. An outlier is an observation that falls either more than 1.5 interquartile ranges above the upper quartile or more than 1.5 interquartile ranges below. Determine whether or not there are any outliers. Okay, we already have the upper quartile, so I just need to find the lower quartile. It's grouped data here, so I'm going to need to use linear interpolation to estimate the lower quartile. All right, so how many students were there? Well, we just add up the frequencies. So 6 plus 15 plus 13 plus 11 plus 8 plus 7 is 60. So my lower quartile, remember we do 60 divided by 4, and it's 15. Now, when it's group data, remember, we don't do any sort of adding a half or rounding or anything like that. It's just number of students divided by 4, and that's it. So it's the 15th student. All right, well, they're not in the first group, but they will be in the next one, because if I do a cumulative frequency, I've got 6 students who drew up to 60 degrees. When I add in the next 15, it takes me up to 21. So I've passed the 15th student somewhere in this group. Now, what fraction of the way into the group were they? Well, I had 6 students so far. So how many more do I need to get to the 15th? Well, it's going to be 15 minus the 6 I've already got. So it's the 9th student in this group. So it's the 9th student in this group, which is going to be my lower quartile student. So what fraction of the way into the group are they? Well, 9/15ths of the way into the group, because there are 15 students in that group. Slightly confusing here because we've got 15 here and 15 here, and they refer to different things. That 15 tells us that we're looking for the 15th student in our ordered list. This 15 tells us there are 15 students that have to be in this group. So 9/15ths of the way into this group, that's where our lower quartile lies. So that's the fraction of the way into the group we go. The group has a width of 5 because it goes from 60 degrees to 65 degrees. And then we add this to the lower bound to see what our lower quartile angle is. So what is that? Well, we'll do that on the calculator. 9/15 times 5 plus 60 is 63. So 63 is our estimated lower quartile. All right, let's see what these bounds are. So the upper bound is going to be the upper quartile, which we're told is 75, plus 1.5 interquartile ranges. Now the interquartile range is the upper quartile, 75, minus the lower quartile, which we just estimated to be 63. What is that? It's 75 plus, and I'll just key all of this in one go, so 75 minus 63 is 12, times 1.5 is 18, so 75 plus 18, so that is 93, and our lower bound is the lower quartile of 63 minus 1.5 interquartile ranges. So that is 63 minus 18, which is 45. So we are investigating now if there are any outliers. Well, okay, we're told that the maximum value is 84, which is not bigger than 93, and the minimum value is 55, which is not smaller than that. So nothing goes beyond our upper bound, nothing goes below our lower bound. So therefore, there are no outliers. Now, it's worth mentioning that in these questions, it's sometimes not possible to tell if there are outliers. For example, suppose that they hadn't told us the maximum value was 84. Suppose that we didn't know that. And let's also suppose that we had worked out that our upper bound was 83 or sort of something in the middle of this group. We wouldn't necessarily then know if there were outliers, because just because this says 80 to 85, it doesn't mean that anyone actually got as high as 85. They might have all got around 82. So in some situations, you need to conclude that we don't know if there are outliers. But in this situation, we know there aren't, because the maximum angle drawn was less than our upper bound, and the minimum angle drawn, 55, was more than our lower bound. All right, so there's a look at outliers. I hope that was useful.